I liked how the young people took ownership of the training today, and I seen a lot of different cultures coming together to learn one thing, like the Syrian dancing. I really enjoyed.
I think for our group in particular, like we do our own, we have our own individual ideas, and so our group idea we haven't really explored that much. So it was good to have a chance to do all the business model canvas and the mapping out kind of the customer and the stakeholders, because we had an idea for Welcomeship, but we hadn't kind of mapped it out in that way. So it's good to kind of visualize it in that way.
Yeah, like Saf said, I would agree in terms of I think business plans can become very overwhelming. Mm-hmm. So the fact that it was broken down into specific, and you think, okay, you can answer that question rather than overlooking it and thinking, okay, I need to answer all of these questions on one. It made it a lot easier and a lot easier to be very specific about what you're answering and the idea and how you're developing it. It kind of made us think more about, okay, we've got a solid idea, but breaking it up and really making sure it counted in terms of what we was trying, our values and what we was trying to express generally.
I think entrepreneurship is a good tool for inclusion because it builds the skills so that migrants and people locally can start their own business and develop their own, be self-sufficient, not having to rely on, the government or, other things. Like it helps them build the skills for the future so that when they do leave these courses, they can get on and do their own thing and really sustain themselves and make a good living if they use the tools applied and they're given the right opportunity to get funding.
I think from what we all do, like our entrepreneurship is based on like our identities and kind of our experiences, and so it's really interesting to kind of meet other people and their other experiences and see how that shapes what they're doing and shapes their projects, because it's very different, but it's all about our problems are the same or very similar. So it's interesting that our identities kind of change that. But yeah, I think there's definitely a space for inclusivity. It's just about finding it. And,
yeah. I think the key thing to that, why it's important, is if you're interested in entrepreneurship, you're usually creative, innovative. So it's finding kind of the gaps and what's not working, and kind of rethinking of, okay, how can we do this more effectively, or how can we change the perspective of that. I think it's particularly important to upskill, learn new skills, because when it may be a short course, but what have you learned from that? And it's an exchange of taking something away and making sure that you've got something out of it, whether it's a new skill, whether it's something you can put on your CV, whether it's an experience that opened your mind and inspired you. I think that's really, really important.